Hi, I'm Rob and welcome to L-Space Archives. Just some quick channel updates today. First, I've been powering through a lot of Robert Bloch stories for October, so you'll be seeing some videos on those throughout the month, along with a few other surprises. But the big news today is for November, so if you saw the announcement video that dropped earlier today, you know that coming in November is Dinovember Challenge, which for reasons I can't fathom, I've been invited to co-host, along with my pirate captain and queen of the weird and wonderful, Andreea at Infinite Text. Also a gentleman who is like a cross between a delightfully charming professor of English literature and an 80s punk rock superstar, Roy at Roy Reads Anything. Then one of the very first people I ever subscribed to on BookTube, it's Richard at Vintage SF. We also have Jim at Mystery and Mayhem. Now, I don't know what Jim does for a living, but if he's not a professional audiobook narrator for hardboiled detective novels, then he has seriously missed his calling. I would love to have him narrate Raymond Chandler and Dashiell Hammett books for me. Also joining our little adventuring party is the person every booktuber wants to adopt, if for no other reason than to protect him from door-to-door traveling Tijuana Bible salesman. It's Bryan at Bad Taste Books. And then finally, my fellow vampire and the guy that has the absolute best externalized internal monologue on all of YouTube. It's Virgil at Literally Books. If you haven't seen their announcement videos, be sure to check them out. And if for some strange reason you aren't already subscribed to every single one of their channels, then you are seriously missing out. I'll put links to all of them in the description below. Seriously, every one of the co-hosts is absolutely amazing. I'm an actual fan of all their channels. I can't believe how lucky I am. You know, how usually when you get a group like this together, there's always that one guy who's kind of shit. Not the case here. All of them are. Oh crap. Am I the shit one? Aw. Oh well, I'm okay with riding on their coattails. So, what is the Dinovember Challenge? Well, there are only two rules in order to meet the challenge. One, read a book that has dinosaurs in it. And two, have fun. Okay, technically, the second one isn't actually a rule. You don't have to have fun if you don't want to. If you want to read a dinosaur book purely out of spite, then we'll allow it. If you want to just hate read, I don't know, the Parasaurians, for example, let's just say we'd prefer you to have fun. Now, we do have some prompts if you want to make it a bit more of a challenge, such as 1, read a dinosaur classic, 2, read a dinosaur garbogist type book, something trashy, pulpy, purely fun, or maybe some dino sexy time erotica. Could even be a short story. 3, read a nonfiction book about dinosaurs, fossils, or other dino-related topics. And a bonus, if you visit a museum or watch a dinosaur-themed movie, TV show. Now, if you want extra credit and want to make it something fun for the whole family, you can have a craft night where you make a fully functional working time machine, take the kids on a trip back to the Mesozoic era, and take a few selfies with a Stegosaurus. But please be mindful of the butterflies. We want to make sure that we're all still here when you get back. So I have a few books here for my own personal TBR. Obviously, I won't be able to read all of them, but I thought I would show them to you just in case you needed some inspiration, suggestions, or ideas. So first up I have Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park and the Lost World. I don't think I'll be getting to these in November just because I'm so familiar with the stories and I want something that I can come into completely fresh, but I'll keep them as a backup possibility. Then a couple more classics. There's Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's The Lost World. Again, it's one I'm familiar with, but it has been a while since I've read it. And the same holds true for Edgar Rice Burroughs' At the Earth's Core. Both of these are great reads or even rereads, so I'll keep those as backups as well. Then a book I absolutely will be reading in November is Dinosaur Beach by Keith Laumer. I actually have 2 copies of this because I can't decide which cover I like more. Laumer is another writer whose entire bibliography I've managed to collect. I loved his James Retief stories when I was a young teenager. I haven't read this one yet, but Jake at Pulp Mortem spoke very highly of it, so this one is definitely a read for Dinovember. Maybe I'll force myself to part with one of my copies and do a buddy read with someone, but then I have to choose which to keep. Why can't I have infinite bookshelves? Then I have Harry Harrison's Eden trilogy, West of Eden, Winter in Eden, and Return to Eden. This is an alternate history where the mass extinction event didn't happen and dinosaurs evolved into an advanced civilization. Humans eventually evolved as well, but they're still in a primitive state. I will definitely be doing at least the first book in this trilogy as well, because I have both the physical copies as well as the audiobooks, so I can listen to these on my commute to and from work. I always keep plenty of audiobooks handy because my brain needs a constant flow of stories the way other brains need oxygen, and reading a paperback while driving on the freeway is often frowned upon. And if I enjoy the first one and still have time, I'll listen to books 2 and 3 as well. And then a book I showed in my New Mexico haul. It's Eridon by Robert F. Young. I know nothing about this, but it looks fun, and the fact that I know nothing about this and haven't read anything by Young puts this high up on my list. So I will almost certainly get to this one. I mean, a time traveler is coming out of a robot triceratops. Of course I'm going to read it. Then we have Anne McCaffrey, Dinosaur Planet and Dinosaur Planet Survivors. Loved the Dragon Riders of Pern when I was a teen, but I haven't read these, so they're also high on my list. I actually haven't read anything by Greg Bear, even though I do have a handful of his books. This is Dinosaur Summer. I believe it's set in Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's Lost World universe, and it takes place a few years after Professor Challenger made his discovery in that book. That's a maybe. Then I have Cryptozoic by Bryan. I do like Aldous, but haven't read this one. Let me know in the comments, how's the dino action in this one? I also have a bunch of short story collections. I will definitely be getting to a lot of these. Nice little story snacks between my main meals. Like I said, I feed on narrativium. If I'm not consuming a story, then I start inventing them inside my head. And that's how we end up with a birthday peanut and Christmas demons. So this is the science fictional dinosaur. Some great writers in here. Aldous, Asimov, Poul Anderson, Silverberg. Then I have L. Sprague de Camp's River of Time, which collects his Reginald River time-traveling adventure stories. I will certainly be reading at least a couple of these, and then we'll see how it goes from there. I know this includes the highly acclaimed story Gun for Dinosaur. Then we have, I think, all of the Jack Dan and Gardner Dozois collections, including Dinosaurs and Dinosaurs 2. So we'll see how many of those I can devour. And then in November, there will be a very special episode of L Space After Dark. So put the kids to bed early, because we're going to be up all night with Triceratops and Bottoms by Lola Faust. We're going to put on some Barry White and show these dinosaurs some real love. So that's it for my reading list. I'm hoping to have a few other surprises thrown in there as well, but one of them requires special clearance and permissions from the Arizona Paleontologist Society, so we'll see how that goes. Now, if you have recommendations of your own, please let me know in the comments. Also, we want to know, what's your favorite dinosaur? Be sure to let us know your favorite dinosaur in the comments and tell us why. And when telling us about your favorite dinosaur, be sure to tag Nick at the book graveyard. God, I am the asshole of the group. See you next time.